All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see, I titled this lesson, You Have to Be Tough in These Times. All right, you have to be tough in these times. And when I say tough, I'm not talking about being contentious, or being this bold fellow. Okay, but when I say tough, I'm talking about being able to handle making certain decisions and being able to handle in a disciplined way certain events that may not always go your way, or situations that may arise that may not be or seem beneficial to your current condition. Okay, and the reason this is so important is because we're entering the times when we're going to be seeing and hearing and feeling horrific things that we've never experienced before. And so in order to be able to endure, of course, first by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you need to be able to have a tough mind. All right, you need to be able to stomach the things that are going to be taking place. You need to be able to hold yourself. So if you got to go a day or two, without having food in your stomach, you need to be able to do all of those things. Okay, because it's going to require having that tough state of mind, to be able to survive these hard times. So with that being said, because there's going to be a lot of things going on. You need to be able to stand firm and make certain decisions, okay, that are necessary. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, and I'm going to start at verse 5. Now it says here, if thou hast run with the footmen, and they have wearied thee, then how canst thou contend with horses? And if in the land of peace, wherein thou trustest, they weary thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of Jordan? And pretty much the footmen are the soldiers that move on foot, and then you have the horses, which are obviously, you have certain soldiers that ride on horses. Now we know that horses are much faster than the humans. Okay, so basically, as it's saying, if you ran with the footmen and they've wearied thee, they've made you tired. All right, you're already at your breaking point with the footmen. How will you contend with horses? And if the land of peace wherein you trust has wearied you, how are you going to survive in the swelling of Jordan? So in this time that we're in, if the conditions that are going on right now, which are nothing compared to what's going to be happening, if these things are already too much for you, how are you going to be able to make it through when things actually pick up? Not, of course, we all have different backgrounds. Some brothers and sisters might have had more rougher backgrounds than others. Some might be more exposed to a different way of living than others, but nevertheless, all of us are going to be put in trying times, and all of us are going to have to make hard decisions at one point or another. But they're hard. Some decisions may be difficult, but not impossible if you follow the blueprints Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has laid out for you. Okay, knowing, all right, well, what to sacrifice. You're gonna have to make sacrifices in order to think of the long-term benefit, the long-term goal. All right, what's the spiritual decision? Because sometimes the spiritual decision, the right decision, in most cases is not always the easiest one to make. Sometimes the right decision might be the one where most people disagree with, and then you have an added pressure of, well, if I'm making a decision that I believe is right, but most people disagree with, but yet they're trusting in that decision, it's that added pressure of, well, if that's not the right decision, you know, that's that's a lot of people that are you know, that are counting on that being the right decision, you know. And because, you know, that kind of added pressure is sometimes the reason why people are not able to make decisions, because they don't know how to just pick one and go with it. They fear, okay, well, what if I pick this one and it's wrong? Okay, so let me pick the other one. Then they run through the same thing again with the same thought process. Well, what if this one is wrong and the first one was right? Okay, let me go back to the first. Well, what if you can't do that? The scriptures talk about a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you want to practice being firm, okay, being rooted, being stable, and making a decision, a sound decision, and going with it. Okay, if you have double-minded practices or habits, you want to break those and be firm in your resolution. Okay, because it's going to help you later on down the line. Now, the next precept I want to get is very, very important as well. And this is what was instructed. This was what was told the prophet Ezra. Okay, which we can apply now to our time. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. It says, "Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people." Now, you may be living by yourself, right? But you may have loved ones, you may have a woman, you may have children, you may have, you know, living with your parents, whoever you're living with. You know, we all have those that are around us that some of them are just gone completely. They can't hear it, they can't see it, they can't understand any aspect of what you tell them, and so they're just gone. They're in the world. And you have those that are more you know, you can see them coming around. You know, they don't really give you hell. All right, they're there. You know, they're cool, and you know, it's okay. You're okay with them being around. All right, those that might potentially have the ear to hear and understand what you're saying. You don't have to tell them that you're an Israelite and, you know, going into the, if you want to, yes, you can, but that's not something you're mandated to do. But you know, if you all right, I don't know why I did that, but let me Salakia, let me just unplug this right here. Okay. Maybe the phone started getting too hot. Okay, hold on 1 second. Might need to turn this AC on. Slacky, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure that this thing is working properly as it should. Yeah, so you might hear that sound in the background a little bit. I just want to make sure that, you know, there's ventilation getting to this. All right. There's always something. All right. Let's see. Hopefully this stays here. All right. So hopefully, you know, this could cool down the phone a bit so it doesn't just shut off. But if it does, just look out for a part 2, you know, that I'll put out. But anyway, as I was saying, if it doesn't hurt, you know, if you like, of course there are things going on, and if you keep them mindful of the things that are happening and the things that are coming and certain things that they can expect, you know, so that way when the time comes, you know, and you make certain decisions, or you say certain things, or you guys got to be on the move or whatever, they're not too lost, you know, because you've told them that, look, they're, you know, it's gonna get bad. You know what you're seeing on the news, the inflation and all that. It is gonna get worse. You know, so you can tell them things that are, you know, good to know without necessarily telling them that, oh, you're an Israelite, and going all into that, because, you know, there's a way to use wisdom and still, you know, deal cordially with everybody. All right. It doesn't mean that you're going off because you're not sitting there and saying, you know, to every single, you know, here it is, you live with it, oh, you an Israelite, and constantly drilling it into their minds. The Lord is going to open that part up to them in due time, okay? But in terms of being aware of the times we're in, you know, that's something that, you know, it's important, okay? So they're not too lost, and they can have it in the back of their mind that, all right, well, in that time, you know, this is just what we're going to have to do. You're going to have to make certain hard, tough decisions, okay? All right, so I hope the sound is coming clear, you know, but let me continue here. 2nd Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, okay? And now renounce corruption. Because in that time, you know, even those that are close to us are going to be in heaviness of mind, because they're not going to understand the fullness of what's happening. Yeah, you can tell them and tell them and tell them, but there's a difference between the way we understand it and the way they perceive it, okay? So they're not going to receive it necessarily the way we receive it all the time, but that's why we're here, okay? That's why the Lord set us up. There's certain people the Lord will bring into your life and have you build a certain connection or relationship with, because there could be a chance that the Lord wants them to be around you in the time when all hell breaks loose, so that they're not caught out there, okay? So everything happens for a reason. The Lord has those, whatever pieces are in place right now, they wouldn't be in place if the Lord didn't sanction it. And the only reason they're still in place is because the Lord has sanctioned it. Verse 14, let go from thee mortal thoughts. And mortal thoughts are thoughts, because what is mortal? Mortality in essence means death, okay? Like if you have a disease, then they say the mortality rate is 50%. That's a very high death rate, okay? Or a rate that it kills at. So in these times, you want to let go from the mortal thoughts, all right? Which are thoughts of death, carnal thoughts, okay? You know, thoughts that don't lead to life. You gotta keep your mind positive with the spirit, okay? The Lord said what? The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. It says, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. See, because being weak in these times, you will not be able to survive. You need to have a strong, you need to be tough in the spirit. And ultimately, you know, the Lord is going to put that upon us, but it's still it's still going to be necessary, because not everybody you come across in that time that looks like they need help can get help, you know? Not everybody that you see suffering can you just offer a helping hand. Sometimes you have to make the decision to say, no, we got to keep going. You may have a car, you may be driving somewhere, you may have your people in the car, and then you may come across somebody that's on this, please, you know, they just shot my father or my man, and it's just me, and they're chasing me, please help. And now you got to make a decision where you're looking at them, they look desperate, you know, but are you just going to stop and do that? Now, what if you meet 10 others that are in the same position? Because a lot of people are going to be in a vulnerable position. Are you going to stop for every single one? Because you may have the mindset of, nah, we can't help. And somebody in the car may, you know, your woman or your mom or something, damn, you're just going to leave them like that? In the movie, here's a good example. In the movie American Blackout, the squeamish, effeminate, whole-ass Edomite kid that was with the family, if you watch it, you'll see there was a family that prepped, right? And so when shit hit the fan, they already went to their remote location. They had stocked up on food. They had weapons, lights, electricity, land, all of that. And the father of that family, his daughter had a boyfriend, and he was with them at the time. So the father was saying, look, he got to go, but if he wants, he could come with us. So when he came with them and they got there was a point where the neighboring people, one of them came there to the fence asking if they had food or water or anything. And the father said, no, we don't, leave. And this dumbass kid gonna come talking about, yes, we do. We have more than enough. We have a lot of food there. Come on, we can spare some. Like, I mean, at that point, that's when you throw this dude out the other side of the fence. Tell him keep his head. You want to help them, so you go join them. Okay. But what ended up happening as a result of that, of thinking, oh, you know, let's just help everybody. The people ended up coming back and raiding the place. And if the lights hadn't come back on, you know, situation might have turned dire. All right. So in that time, you're gonna need to make certain decisions that may seem cold or harsh, but the Lord is gonna put that spirit on us to be cold, to be numb, you know, in as to certain things. Because if not, you're gonna end up putting yourself in a worse situation. Okay. So it says here, verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy onto thee. You know, things that you worry about. Hey, even in this time, there's things that, you know, you may be going through right now, whether it's financial, family-wise, whatever it is. But don't worry about it. The scripture, Yahushua said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and everything else shall be added onto you, because all these things are going to dissolve. All your problems now are going to dissolve with this place. They're all temporary, because for the most part, your problems now are centered around the life you're living now. Okay, all the problems you're facing are centered around the life you're living now. If it's not dealing with the spirit, with this truth, then it's centered around the life you're living now. If it's financial, if it's with a woman, if it's with your job, if it's with the jump shot, the juice, you know, if it's an infirmity, if it's a loved one died, it's all centered around this life that we're living here. But we're not taking this life to the kingdom. So at the end of the day, when the period of this age ends, all of that is going to go away with it, as said in Revelation, the 21st chapter. So let go of those thoughts and set your mind right, because we are the only ones through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that know the truth of what's actually getting ready to go down. All right, on a high level. So through the spirit, the Lord is going to use us and guide us where we need to be, you know, and how we need to maneuver. Those that are around us, they don't have that. They don't, you know, they don't know. All right, they can't perceive it that far. And right now, no matter how people may act right now, when that time comes, when they don't know what to do and they don't know what's going on, even though they may have some inkling because of what you told them, when reality hits them, they're going to be seeking some form of, what do we do? Or how do we survive this? And that's when they're going to understand why it is that we weren't so consumed up in this world and we didn't care so much about the things and prospering in this world. Because what's most important is going to be surviving at that time. And you're going to, and especially if you have people that depend on you, that may not know as much as you, that may not be in the spirit as much as you, you're going to need to be tough, you know, to be able to hold on and you know, let the Lord use you as a vessel, okay, to possibly deliver you and those that are with you. Okay, so continuing in 2nd Ezra 14 and 15, I read it again. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And now we're getting ready to witness that. Every single day, every couple of minutes, there's a news notification on things getting worse. Gas prices, what, 3 cents away from $5 national average. Inflation going up. All these companies saying, look, food prices. I did a video, Lowell, and I'll put it up. But it's all good. It's all good, bro. You know, twice as nice. But basically, all these companies coming out and saying these things, and they're saying now this food prices could be on the same level or worse than the CVPD global demic, because of how, they said it could be as deadly as the global demic that just happened. Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. See, so we're facing the most evils the world is going to see in its creation. Verse 18, for the truth is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. Which, when you look into that word leasing, it goes into falsehood or lies. Okay, it says here, For now hasteth the vision to come which thou hast seen. And that vision, when you read the book of Second Esdras, he received a lot of visions, and majority of them were dealing with the end times, which we are in now. So now those visions are hasting to come greatly and quickly. All right, and in order to be able to maneuver and remain with a stable mind, you have to have a tough mind. You have to have tough skin. You have to know how to say no sometimes. You know, you have to be an asshole sometimes. Okay, pardon the extremity of the language, but sometimes you just got to say it as it is. Okay, so sometimes you just got to be that way, because if you're not and nobody else wants to be, then how are you going to get things done? All right, it's going to be a serious time, and you cannot afford silly mistakes. And women make a lot of silly mistakes sometimes, and the honest ones will tell you, I don't know why I did that. And they'll get mad at themselves, but the problem is you done already did it. So in that time, you're not gonna have too many chances to make a stupid mistake that could have been avoided and then fix it. Sometimes those stupid mistakes can cost you a lot. It could cost you a limb or a life. So you got to make sure that you can't afford to make those mistakes, so you do your best not to make those mistakes. Don't take those chances. All right, make sure you on it, make sure you certain, you know, and you in the spirit, of course, but make sure you following, you know, the right spiritual protocols, and not leaving things up to unnecessary chance. Now, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 7. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Okay, and the heart meaning the mind. So their courage, their spirit, their thoughts, their strength is going to melt. It's going to be broken down upon witnessing the calamities that are going to be hitting the face of the planet Earth. All right, so a lot of men are going to become weak, and forget about women, because it's going to be so dangerous and scary out here. Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. See, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. So people are going to be in that sickened, confused state, and amazed, not in the sense of, wow, that's amazing, but more like shocked. All right, I think we should be good now. Okay, but they're going to be amazed in the sense that they're going to be shocked and not know what to do. And they're gonna be made weak. All that extra so-called confidence that people walk around with, they walk around like nothing can happen to them. Women walk around like they can't be touched. Men walk around like they just shit. When that time comes, like it says, they're gonna be travailing, like they're gonna be in pain as a woman in travail, not knowing what to do, where to go, you know, crying. You're gonna have grown men crying like women. You know, and you looking for what happened, and I'm hungry. You know, crying, you know, not knowing what to do. Nah, bro, it's not even funny, bro. Yeah, it's not. But, you know, it may sound funny, but it's true. Now, what happens if a woman with her man sees her man? Yeah, the great humbling is coming. Hey, that's a title, like the lesson right there. And she sees her man. There's this man who always, hey, what's up, nigga? I run these streets, nigga. I'm all up in these streets. You know, I'm the shit, nigga. You know, they be walking around with that kind of spirit, and all hell breaks loose, and you see this man curled up in a ball and shit, you know, but just mumbling shit to himself. Oh man, we dead. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Oh mommy. What you think she's gonna do? How you think she's gonna feel? You know, I mean, and when she sees that, I mean, it's over for her at that point, because a lot of that tough girl spirit is going to run out of these women. Those demons are going to run out of these women. And these women are now going to realize, okay, I need to look to this man for protection. Now, you turn to this man you're supposed to be looking at for protection, and this dude's already broken down. What are you going to do? It's like finally acknowledging, all right, I need to set up a fence or a dam for this water that's coming. And you finally acknowledge, all right, I need this dam. I'm gonna use it for protection. And you turn around and the dam is broken, cracked up, the water's already seeping through. You're like, oh shit. You know, we're screwed. So this is Ezekiel 21 verse 7, and it says, and it shall be when they say unto thee, wherefore sighest thou? Thou shalt answer, for the tidings, which is news, because it cometh, and every heart, meaning every mind, shall melt, and all hands shall be feeble, and every spirit shall faint, and all knees shall be weak as water. Through fear, through desperation, through tribulation, is going to cause this effect to come upon the inhabitants of the world. And only those that have the Spirit of the Lord guiding them and delivering them and providing for them are going to be stable, all right, are going to be able to be in a good position. As the scriptures say, we're going to have abundance, Salakia, that we're going to have abundance while the rest have, we're going to be merry and have abundance while everybody else is having scarcity and is sorrowful. All right, and we believe in that. We trust in that. And we're confident in the Lord. So when the time comes, no matter what we're faced with, we're going to be able to make it through because the Lord got our backs. Okay? But the people out here in this world, and that's why you're going to have Isaiah 4:1, those women are going to be seeking those men that are able to lead them and guide them and provide for them. All right? Yeah. You know, lead them, guide them, and provide for them. All right, and have some sense of direction as to what's going on and what to do, because we're going to be guided by the Spirit of the Lord. That's why a man is going to be more precious than fine gold. Okay, the values that women so-called look for today is going to be completely different. They're going to realize that a man is not there to look cute. Okay, men weren't created to look cute. Oh, I dress fly, I'm cute. You know, I know how to spit game, and you know, I mean, which ain't nothing wrong with knowing how to quote unquote spit game, but women now look at men for the wrong reasons. So when that time comes, and because of that, a lot of men have changed how they're naturally supposed to be so they can cater to what these women are looking for. It's like tailoring your resume to a specific job because of what the job requirements are. Now, this means that when shit hits the fan and men need to be men, women are not going to be able to find these men that need to be men, because a lot of these men have changed their natural manliness to cater to these cute boys that women want, or women say that they want. And even after doing so, they wonder why they can't really keep the woman, because the woman is not designed. She what she says is really going against her nature. And nature is something that is built into you that you cannot escape. So she may say, oh, I want a man that's just, you know, under me all the time and all this cute shit, you know, but her nature, her natural design does not desire that. That's not who she's naturally built to be submissive to. Okay? That cute shit is not going to trigger her submissiveness. And so as a result of that, when shit starts going south and hitting the fan, they're going to be looking for that man as a hedge, as a protection. But this man is not going to be a hedge or protection, because instead of putting off the weak nature, Babylon taught him to put on the weak nature, to become feminine, to be a clown and a jokester, to not be serious, okay, to not be disciplined. And so when that time comes, when that's required, they're not going to be able to do so. Except for the men of the Lord. And that's also going to be adding to what makes the men so precious. Okay? So now I have one last precept here, and then I'm going to wrap it up. You know, but Lord willing, you know, I'll come back maybe, you know, if the Spirit hits me, I'll come back with something else. But this is the book of 22. All right, this is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse, where we at? Come on now. All right, Nahum 1 and 6. It says here, who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. And this is going to be why, this is why the Lord said, put away those mortal thoughts, because in order to make it through the times like this, okay, you're gonna need a divine confidence. Okay, you're gonna need to move with divine faith. That you cannot just move with a natural, the mind of a natural man. You need to have the mind of a spiritual man to be able to stomach and make decisions and still move and protect and provide and fight and endure the times that we are coming in. Because famine is coming, pestilence is coming, chaos is coming, death is coming, and people are not going to know what to do. That's why it says that all hands are going to be feeble. Okay, all hands are going to be weak, all knees are going to be feeble, and all minds are going to melt. All right, so pray to the Lord to prepare your mind, all right, for this time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, to give you the strength and the strength of mind, the strength of body, the strength of spirit, to be able to make sound decisions, to be able to stick by those decisions, and be able to maneuver through this destruction that's coming, and Lord willing, endure. Okay, and Lord willing, the Lord provide an escape for you and your loved ones. Okay, but the Lord is gonna put us in that position where we need to make certain decisions, and your life or the life of those around you may depend on it, and you can't just break down in fear. Okay, like if you take Moses for an example, Moses had a very, very heavy task. Okay, dealing with a nation like Israel and being the mediator. Now, if Moses got up and said, "I can't do this no more, I'm dying," no, no. He couldn't. All right, because that was the position the Lord put him in, and he just had to deal with it. All right, and just endure it. All right, and the whole nation was depending on, you know, the vessel Moses that the Lord was using. Okay, so the Lord might use you as a vessel, all right, and have others depend on you. Isaiah 4:1. Guess what? Yeah, Isaiah 4:1 says 7 women shall take hold of one man, but guess what? What does that mean? That means they're gonna be depending on that man. That means that man is gonna need to then, if they're under his house, he needs to protect them. He needs to provide. Okay? Only let us be called by thy name. When you're called by a man's name, you're a part of his house. That means he needs to take care of his house. So that man needs to be stable in the mind and ready to be able to take the necessary actions to do what he has to do. Okay? So, hey, every single day is a day closer to this destruction happening, and we're seeing the collapse. We're seeing the slowdown, and then the regression, and that ultimate collapse. And this summer is looking very interesting. So, hey, stay in the spirit, all right, and definitely pray to the Lord, all right, as well as watch. Yeah, like the brother said, man up. Okay. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.